Hintay kami dito. Yan, hinintay ka pa. Kakat dahil hagdanan. Kuha ko ng picture. Dami. Kaya ang guns nila dito. Kaya namin. Sana.
Everyone's going the same way on this ship because not everybody's like Dave or myself. We know where to go all the time. For the convenience of everyone, if we're all following the tour route arrows, it's a little easier. When I finish, if you're interested in going up and see where the ship is navigating from, follow the arrows. Up, up, up. You're going to be up where the glass and the wipers are. You often go one more level above that as well. Great place to take some pictures. What I'm going to do, we're going to go into this room where the door is. About 3 minutes or so. Come back down here. We retrace footsteps of famous people. How many? 23. 26. You got a blade. I was up before.
Center. Ayan. Radar nila. Missouri. Ito yung CIC naman. So plotting navigation,
Take the seats. You're going to become operators in this virtual reality experience. We do have plenty of air conditioning in here. One more seat there.
This is where they made
Who
that
has computer
button.
skills? I'll stand right here.
Yeah.
Use the phone?
Sure. Call Pizza Hut. We want green onions, anchovies on the side. I mean, on.
This is where they shot the Steven Seagal movie.
How'd you know that?
Yeah. Looks for that.
Oh, you broke it, sir. You can't get it back in there. You broke it. You want to replace that
Tommy
with your
Lee Jones.
Motorola or cell phone?
The payment still?
Yeah.
Give it to you.
Come on in. We have some more room on this side. Come on in. We've got air conditioning.
Not enough though.
Standing in the wrong spot. You don't feel it. Come on in.
This is where they had that knife fight.
Got it on red? All right. I'm going to turn the lights off. I mean,
Okay.
under the hole. I'll do the spill.
This is where they had the sign over to Japanese.
We could have my group up this way, please. All you doing towards up this way.
Selling documents. It's the picture here. John Douglas Okoto. This is the signing to surrender. And this was activation. Kakaalis pa lang namin sa command center. Hindi pwede ng pelikula ng Seagal tsaka Steven Seagal. Under siege.
Sabihin ko. Nakita namin dito yung site ng signing of the surrender of Japan to the United States of America. Nangyari to September 2, 1945. Exactly 15 years before my birthday. Deva was born on September 2, 1960. 15 years, exactly 15 years before. Sa Tokyo base sila, yung sila MacArthur, kaya mga generals, saka andun din si ano, yung representative ng Tokyo ng Japan. Dito na sila yung pictures.
そして朝8時56分ぐらいに日本側の代表11名
It's the signing of the surrender aboard Missouri.
Microphone's right about here. Chair, regular table with a very nice tablecloth right over that spot. So that marks the spot where the war ended. It also gives you the coordinates of where the ship was anchored in Tokyo Bay. And the reason we have this flag here is because another ship back in 1853 had anchored in almost the same spot. 1853. That's why there are only 31 stars on that flag. There's a replica of Commodore Matthew Perry's flag from 1853. In the glass case are copies of the paperwork. This is MacArthur's pen and the photographs left to right. Walk you through of the surrender ceremony. I always let my group go over and spend as much time as they like looking at those photos and listening to the speech here. The last thing that MacArthur said was his first sequence. This is your time. If you'd like to go up, just back around and then follow the pathway up. See where the ship is navigated from and then come on back down. Food to the rear, Truman line sign, or down on up here, Pearl Canteen, or catching the bus back over to the submarine park. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's done, huh?
Yes, it is.
I shall return. I shall return.
Come on, stop using that phrase.
From a Filipino
Only one person can use
I shall
that.
return.
I shall return.
Sonia.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know.
Oh, you know this young lady?
I'm from Mars. I'm from a planet.
Oh, yes, yes. There's quite a few guys living here, I understand.
Yeah.
She's from Manila.
Yeah, I'm from Manila too.
Same, eh?
Cubao, Quezon City.
Oh, Cubao. Okay, yeah. Really close, yeah.
I just
You're
have
actor Quezon City, yeah. Quezon City, yeah.
From different strokes, you know.
Different strokes.
We can be brothers.
Yes. I've got the shirt that has all the islands, you know, so I mark off where all the pretty girls are from. You know.
Actually, my mom and my dad were so grateful. They served chicken to the Seabees, you know, for about a couple of weeks until they ran out of chicken
In World War II.
in World War
They
II.
made
So
a pact. When
they made the
Americans
promise.
come, we'll serve them chicken every night.
Fried
So
chicken,
the
yeah.
Americans call my dad Domingo Chicken.
Domingo chicken.
So when they walk at night, oh, we're going to Domingo Chicken.
They finally ran out of chicken.
My parents lost their money doing that. So they eventually sold their clothes.
One more chicken.
See, I wish we have a guy that works here. His name is Toby. He's from the Philippines, and he's one of our tour guides. He served aboard the Missouri in 53 to 55. He works on Mondays though, so.
Our family friend,
Yes.
our neighbor, he called Mang Andy. Mang is like Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Andy.
Mr. Andy.
He was in Pearl Harbor,
In
the battleship.
Pearl Harbor, one of the battles he was here.
Wow.
I think it was,
He
yeah,
was a cook.
he was a cook, yeah.
Yeah, he made us.
They are the best cooks.
And
What Toby did, Toby took care of the captain. He,
Yeah. So
great
Still
guy.
here?
Yeah, he'll be here tomorrow.
oh, beer.
they said that there's lots of chaos. It was early in the morning. They were caught by surprise.
Yeah.
He saw people jumping off the ship.
So he
Lots of
jumped too.
panic.
And then oil on fire
Yes.
on the surface of the ocean here, the
Right.
water here.
Yeah.
So then they would dive off the ship and almost get burned going through and then
Yes.
swim under as long
Underneath,
as they
yeah.
could.
He told us stories about like I was in America. I said, "Where did you go, Mang Andy?" I went to Chicago. And he said, "What was it like back then?" He said, "Chicago is a big city already back then."
Oh, so really?
Oh yeah. It was Al Capone's hometown.
Oh,
Even though he was born in New York.
Or you might appreciate
thank you.
Yes.
mine from the Gulf War. I saw the photos.
Okay.
They used drones.
Oh, yeah.
It's called a Mistral.
May peace be restored
That's video?
to the world.
Downstairs, we got that on.
You got that?
Yeah, I got that.
September 2nd, 1945.
Because he was on the LaSalle at the time.
Then you can see in that little photo, right? You got the signees, what countries they represented, and all that information
Yes, I
is
saw
there.
it.
And then if you can see real good in this picture from 44, the bottom one, the big guns are firing, right?
The Missouri.
They look like 6 little dots. See those 6 little dots?
What?
So from a camera from 44, they were able to capture the big gun firing the big projectiles.
Wow.
Oh, the dots of the projection.
Yeah.
I thought you were
Projectile.
going to say those are 6 UFOs.
Okay. Projectile.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And as we say, salamat. Salamat.
Oh, yes. You know, thank you, yeah.
And then,
You enjoy it? You're very knowledgeable?
very beautiful.
Yeah.
But you know what I really like? You're very warm and friendly.
Yes, you have to be. You have to be. You can't just, because if you just want a guy that's going to be all, you can just listen to the audio the entire time.
No, you're different.
We're supposed to engage.
Very sensitive.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
The other thing you can't comprehend, I've never heard these flights.
Battleship. Sure. Paalis na kami sa Missouri. Naalis na kami sa siguro yung 1 hour. Sakay na kami sa bus. Dadaling kami. Ibig sabihin kukontinue namin. May city tour kami. Okay, kaya stop na muna. Nandito kami sa USS Missouri, yung submarine. Kasi dito katabi namin 2 Polaris missile ba yan? Isa yata Poseidon sa Polaris. Hindi, Polaris pala pareho. Isang A3 missile, which is here. A3. Tapos yung isa naman is A1 submarine launch ballistic missile SLBM. Okay, ito close up ko. Okay, dito naman laki pala ng missile na to, no? Okay, tapos ito yung mga torpedo. Okay, sunta ko daan. Ito torpedo rin ito. Ito exercise torpedo. Okay, daming torpedo, lalaki ng mga torpedo na to. Torpedo Mark 14 steam driven torpedo. Okay, yan to. Mark 37 electric torpedo. Okay, yan, electric torpedo yan. Ito naman Mark 45 nuclear torpedo.
Kung gusto mo sumakay sa sabon ako, hindi na sakay.
Hindi na, ayoko na. Ito naman is okay, encapsulated harpoon missile. Sabihin sa loob nito may harpoon missile dito. Encapsulated harpoon missile. Yan, okay. With holding fins. Okay. Tapos si Danny. Ito. Alam ko to. Regulus cruise missile. Ito yung predecessor siguro ng cruise missile. Regulus. Okay. Regulus yan. Okay. From 1959 through 1964, Regulus was the submarine launched retaliatory missile in the Pacific. The Regulus missile deterrent strike force operated from submarine base Pearl Harbor under the operational control of Commander Submarine Force Pacific Fleet and was supported by Guided Missile Unit 10. Less than 800-man clear fight-ready submarines maintained their warheads within minutes of assigned targets. Under the most arduous conditions, they undertook the most difficult and challenging task and saw it to a successful conclusion. The missiles dedicated to those submarines and their boats who for 5 years carried the shield. The Regulus missile. Si Danny nandito, si Danny. Kinukunan niya yung USS Missouri. Nagto submarine ng World War II. SS 287 actually. SS 287 USS Missouri na sa Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. SS 287. Ayan, there's Missouri. Zooming out. Okay. Ito yung submarine. Ito ulit yung shot ng Regulus mo. Yes. Parang Christmas. Okay. Ito pinapakita pa ng submarine ng World War II. Ito. Dami pa ng submarine ng World War II. Pwede ko na lahat ito. Otherwise, abot na kami ng siyam-siyam dito. Punta ko na lang yan. Lalakad yan, ayun, kuko na picture. Ayun pa rin yung ano yung lumalaw yung camera. Munti ko na mabagsak yung camera. USS Bobin to. Ayun mo si Danny. Ayun wala ang Polaris.
Town Honolulu. But before I do that, let me just share with you a couple of more sites. And one is, well, let me explain it this way. Have any of you been by one of our McDonald's restaurants yet, or been into one of our McDonald's restaurants? You know you've gone by a lot of them, right? It's just that you've not seen it, right? You know why? How do you identify your McDonald's? Huge golden arches. Did you notice ours here? No arches, or if there is one, it's very, very small. You know why they're small? Very simple. They're not allowed. Opened and dedicated in 1948. Named after a medical officer of the Civil War days by the name of Charles Stewart Tripler. And that main building can accommodate 1,500 beds. They say up to 2,000 in case of emergencies. And today it is considered to be the second largest military hospital in the U.S. They say in San Antonio, Texas, what is it? What's the name? Not Blair, but there's a name. Yeah, one in San Antonio, Texas is supposed to be the biggest. Now, two things unique about the building though. Okay, one is the building itself, and the other is the paint, the color. First of all, the paint, the color. Okay, it's not, the paint is not on the building. Believe it or not, the paint is within the building mix itself. So it's almost a permanent color. Now, as far as the building, there are many critics that think that the Army Corps of Engineers who built that hospital built it backwards. In other words, what's facing this side, the ocean, was supposed to be facing the mountain. And why they think that? If you go up and look at the building on the mountainside, okay, the windows on that side are huge, big bay windows. You know the kind of windows you normally look over a seascape? So they think, the critics think, when the Army Corps of Engineers laid the blueprint on the cleared property, they put it backwards, and when they completed the building, what was supposed to be facing the mountain is facing the ocean. And as some critics said, well, what did you expect from the Army Corps of Engineers? Yep, some advocates say, no, at least they put it on the right hill. Anyway, we think they did. All right, though. Let's go back now with the resume of the kings. If you remember, our written history begins when Captain James Cook comes upon these islands, 1778. It is noted that at that time, these islands were basically separated into 4 separate chiefdoms. Okay? Remember, they were still not called kings yet. And there were basically 4 larger islands, Hawaii, Maui, Oahu, and Hawaii. Each had its own high chief and its own hierarchy of chiefs. Kamehameha, whose name, by the way, means the lonely one. He was from the big island of Hawaii, and he felt that these islands should be united under one high chief, namely himself. So he began to unify these islands under his one rule. Now, let me take a quick break before I continue on, because coming up to the left here, across the freeway here, you see behind of this big tree is all the stone buildings, and all of these buildings to the left, they all belong to this Bishop Museum. If you are into that kind of thing, that's where you need to go. That's a Bishop Museum. And then you look on the distant hill, immediate left, on top of the residential homes. See all those buildings up there? Those are the buildings of the Kamehameha School for Boys and Girls. Now, these 2 institutions I just pointed out to you to the left have a direct bearing on the Kamehameha line. So let me continue on with the Kamehamehas and incorporate those 2. So remember, Kamehameha the Great united these islands finally in 1810. And that's when he declared this the Kingdom of Hawaii. And he became the first king. Now, he ruled United Hawaii 9 years. 1819, he died of natural causes. Okay, now there followed after him 4 additional Kamehamehas. Okay, the second and the third were sons. The 4th and the 5th were grandsons. Now after the 5th died, first elected king was then put on the throne. Oh, before we go with the first elected king, the heir apparent to the throne after Kamehameha the 5th died was a great-granddaughter by the name of Bernice Owahi Kamehameha. Now, she never ascended to the throne for 2 reasons. Okay, one, she married an American businessman by the name of Charles Bishop, and she preferred a private life instead of a public one, so she actually refused the throne. Now, the second reason was that she died prematurely of what we suspect today to may have been cancer. And they think she was only in her early 40s at the time of her death. But being that she was the last direct descendant, and being that they had no children, when she died, she had under her name over 1/5 of all the most valuable lands here in Hawaii, over 20% of the most valuable lands. In other words, she died a rich lady. And because of that, she left an extensive will. And the will exhorted that the income from these lands were to be used to educate and support her Hawaiian people. Now, Charles Bishop was an honorable man. He put all of those lands into a trust, established the Kamehameha schools, and the Kamehameha schools now is to educate those of Hawaiian blood. At one time you had to be pure-blooded Hawaiian. Okay? We don't have very many pure-blooded Hawaiians today. So minimum requirement today is 1/8 Hawaiian blood. And remember, the Kamehameha school now is only a preparatory school, kindergarten to 12th grade. and the Kamehameha schools today, the estate has assets valued somewhere between 6.5 and $10 billion. So can you imagine what kind of a facilities, and the sole beneficiary now of all that money is the Kamehameha School for boys and girls. So you can imagine what kind of a facilities they have on top of the hill. Okay, fantastic facilities. But for now, we'll end the Kamehameha line, and that's when the first elected king was put on the throne, and his name was William Charles Lunalilo. Short rule, 13 months, died of an illness. Second elected king then put on the throne, King David Kalakaua. Now, he was quite a character. Okay, and by the way, that's the one most of you are familiar with. Okay, the reason? You know that main street in Waikiki? That's who it's named after, Kalakaua Avenue. The Iolani Palace that we're going to be seeing here very shortly was built by him as well. And he is the one who returned the hula back as a public performance. And because he was quite a character, and boy, did he love to party. Okay. Oh, did he love to booze it up, mainly gin. Loved to play cards, mainly poker. Another thing, several things you want to notice. Okay, number one, did you notice a lot of flower lei shops? Okay, remember now, here in Hawaii, the giving of a lei is to let the person we give the lei to, let them know of our love and affection. Okay, another thing. How many of you like Chinese food? Do you like Chinese food? Well, this is where you need to come down for Chinese food. There are many lovely restaurants, okay? And restaurants that... Come on, what is this guy doing? Is someone trying to pull out here? I didn't see anybody trying to pull out. Okay. Just waiting for someone to go and do. The reason, remember now, well, not remember, but remember, we had a bubonic plague in Hawaii, in Honolulu. Okay, before we talk about that though, look at this street we're about ready to cross over, okay? While we're waiting for the traffic light. 1899, we had the bubonic plague, and to try to stop the plague, what was supposed to be controlled fires, you know, to burn down some of the most squalid areas of the city, that supposedly controlled fires was fan out of control. It burned one half of the city of Honolulu.